So this is your opportunity to speak directly to each other and to tell each other what about working relationships are important to each of you.
Well, the problem I'm having with Dawn is I gotta have work done on time. I gotta have quality work done on time. And I just don't feel I'm getting that quality work done on time. I've got to be able to trust that when I give you something to do, when I'm assigning you something, that I can, that it's going to be done, and it's going to be done really well.
I'm not sure I understand what you're referring to.
Like I'm referring to, let's say that the report, the employee survey that I asked you to do. It's late. And the last two drafts have had just been full of errors, statistical errors, not statistical errors that some mathematician would have to dig out, but you look at the report, you look at the tables, and it's just too obvious. Like, we can't afford that in this office. There's a lot of pressure on us, especially in this economic environment, and we've got to get these things right. It's important not only for employees, it's the retention rate.
I understand.
You know,
about it being
the
important
VP,
for
the
employees.
board.
Why do you think I worked really hard on that? I know there were some mistakes,
Yeah.
but I wanted to ask you about that before proceeding.
Well, what would you want to? I mean, I've got to be able to. It isn't a matter of asking. It's a matter of. I'm not always going to be available to answer those questions. When we hired you, when we originally had our discussion, you're hired because because I believed you have the competence to do this and do it well.
I do.
And
have the
it's a
confidence.
surprise to me, frankly, that this kind of work so far behind time.
I have learned how to do it. I just haven't gotten all the way there. I am a recent grad from the HR certification just last year. You knew that, and I haven't had a whole lot of practical experience. I mean, I've had a lot of theory, and I've had it in school, and I had to the courses.
Yeah, but that
Not
wasn't the
firsthand.
impression I got at the beginning. I got the impression of a person who's bright, who
Well,
has
I can't
enough
be accountable for your impressions.
Well,
What you
You're-
I never said anything else other than that I was just.
but
new
I'm
with this.
trying to say is the impression I got was somebody who wanted a big field, wanted to be able to create work,
do.
wanted to do stuff on her own.
And I have. I mean, look at all the things I have done.
Yeah.
I mean, I did that customer survey, and you didn't even give me any kind of acknowledgement as far as the contribution it made. And I reorganized that cupboard we had in our inventory and our files, both hard files and online around our materials.
Yeah, but the files still aren't done, and they've got to be. Like, I can't come in the office looking for when George calls on me to get a particular piece of paper. I got to know where it is. I can't go in there looking for insurance, and find something in there about employee relations. It isn't.
Well, if you actually checked in with me, or we had some sort of time that we were, regular check-ins, you'd know
But I
what was
don't
going
have
on.
time to check in. That's precisely
Okay,
the point.
I get that you're busy.
You know, I'm very, very busy, and I'm under a lot of pressure, particularly from the VP and the Pres, and as far as I know, the board.
I
The
get
board
their
is
messages.
being, yeah,
I know how busy
yeah.
you are.
It's important for this organization that we're on top
But it
of
seems
things.
to me you spend more time going upwards than you do down to the people below.
Yeah, I don't have time. I mean, I've got to trust that the people down below, the people that I've hired precisely for those functions that are quote down below, that they're being done.
Well, and then you come
I've got
along
to trust that.
And then you're micromanaging, like those times you come and you say, is that done? Is that done? Is that done?
Well, this
like
is
in every little nitty-pitty point. It's kind of like one extreme to the other. You're either invisible or
well,
like
you're
over
no,
my
but you're
shoulder.
underlining exactly what I said. I'm telling you that I now feel compelled to come down and check every little thing because I've lost some confidence in your ability to do it right. So I feel I have to be there. And not only that, sometimes when I do have time to sit and kind of check in with you, it's going to take too long for you to get those earplugs out of your ear, which, by the way, has been
a
a
What? What
that
earplugs?
thing that you wear in your ear. I don't know what you call it. The thing you listen to the music.
Oh, my iPod?
The iPod, yeah. Like, do you know we've had a couple of small complaints, I admit that, but you know, people come in the office, clients come in the office. You're one of the first people they're probably most likely to meet. And very often you're just not there because you're off in the world of, I don't know who you're listening to, but you're not there. We've got to have, you got to be there. Like, and if I'm in and I've got 30 seconds to say something or to give you some guidance, I haven't got time to wait for you to pull the plugs out, get yourself together, try to figure out what I'm just too busy.
Well,
So you've got to be here.
That I can see your point around that. I guess it is that I'm like here in the office so much because you're in and out, and so I tend to put that in there just to.
Well, I have been very busy, I admit that.
So
But,
I do apologize. I mean, I can watch that.
yeah, I mean, it would be very helpful if you didn't, if you could find some other way to listen to music, even if it was a radio or something like that, because it kind of drives me crazy, and some of the clients get a little miffed when they're not getting the attention that
I
they
can
want.
understand that.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, see, that would have been helpful information. Like, why did you wait till now to tell me? You saw me wearing them. If you'd taken, 2 minutes to stop by my desk and say, Dawn, this would be really helpful if you didn't, it doesn't look very professional or whatever. But I had no idea till now.
Well, I gotta say one thing here, my dear, is that it's difficult to give you direct feedback on something like that when you are the president's daughter. I'm sorry, you have to say that, but
I understand.
But I don't know the kind of feedback. I don't know what's going to end up on the president's ear when I'm talking to you. It's something that makes me nervous. It's something that my colleagues don't have to face. But I have to say that, I don't know what in this office, what you're thinking about when you're doing stuff in the office, or how I give you feedback. I don't know how that's going to impress the president. And he's somebody I have to worry about
Well,
in terms of my reputation and this office's reputation.
I guess I hadn't really fully considered that. I mean, my dad I know he's the president, but he's just my dad to me. And, I hadn't actually considered that implication. There again, I mean, if we'd had a talk about that, but that, you knew that right from the get-go that I was.
Well, I knew that, but that wasn't something that we really explicitly talked about in that first
Well, maybe we should have.
sort of thing. Yes, it might have been a better thing to do, but
Just so that
it's
you
toughy
know.
to tippy-toe around. You see, it's kind of like walking on glass or on eggs. I'm just not sure what impression he's getting this office through you.
Well, just so you know, Sandy, I'm aware of, I want to keep my independence and my autonomy. It's important to me, first of all, autonomy in the job, but I don't want to just run to him. I want to figure out things for myself. He's even said that to me, actually. You need to figure them out on your own. So
Yeah.
I do. Now, I have talked to him, but only hypothetically, not about specifically, me with an issue.
Well, hypothetic, he's got to know who you're talking about. I don't know how you put it to him, but hypothetically.
I didn't tell him all the details or anything.
Yeah,
And you know what? I mean, if we could have regular conversations to each other and be able to talk about these things, there would have been no need. They didn't know who else to talk to.
Yeah, well, if you need help, too, I'm going to suggest, too, I'm not the only guy in the office. Sally over there, for example, she's an HR person. She can give you she's a very experienced HR person, and she used to work in this office. And if you just go next door, sometime take a coffee with her, she can give you some good advice on employees. It's not, I don't know a lot about employee surveys. I don't know a lot about client surveys. Let's talk about remember the client survey you did when you first came in this office?
Yes.
You did a great job on that, right? You did a great job on that client survey. So I have these kind of expectations now. I have expectations that work, other kinds of work, the work that follows on with that is going to be great work. And to be frank with you, I'm kind of surprised. I've been surprised and shocked at how things have begun to slip a little bit over the last 2 months, in particular, and that's
as I
really
said,
what
that I
gets me
need-
worried.
Because I am still new at learning these things. I do the best I can, but I
Yeah.
need to be able to have regular contact with my manager. That's the way, I don't need to be micromanaged. I just want to have some regular means or accessibility that I can make sure that I'm on the right track.
So
But
you're
then what happens is then I just don't want to do it. So then I leave it. I keep hoping every day I might get a chance with you, might get a chance, and I just leave it sitting on my desk, and then you come down on me for because it's not done. Well, it's not done because I'm waiting.
well. Okay. So just let me get this. Maybe help me understand this. You want this autonomy, right? You want autonomy,
Yes.
the wide field,
Yes.
but you want more time from me to.
No, I just want to be able to have periodic accessibility when I need to ask you a question or something addressed or confirm that this is on the right track before proceeding to the next stage that you can.
So you're saying somewhere between no feedback or nothing, where you're totally free to do whatever you want, and somewhere between me
Yes.
leaning over your
yes,
shoulder is
Yes.
something
Yes.
better for you.
Yes, a nice middle ground would be really helpful. Kind of a regular contact and communication that we'd have.
Yeah, even given the amount of work I've got. I mean, there are some times when I'm just not going to have that
Well,
time.
accessibility doesn't necessarily have to be in person. I mean,
Yeah.
it could be you come in and come out, just stop, how's everything going? And if it's not, you don't have time that moment, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lots of
Well, I
ways to
can ask you
communicate.
how everything's going if you're going to take those plugs out of your hair.
Well, yes,
yeah.
I.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
I acknowledge that probably isn't the most professional, and
Yeah, and it does kind of reflect on the
Yes.
office. And my whole concern is, the office, our whole organization, really in line with where we want to go and how we want to serve our customers. It's very, very important. It's important for me also as a professional, as a manager. In my career here, that those things kind of line up and they're done
That's
right.
important to me.
Quality is really what we
I get it. Quality is
yeah.
really important to you, but
Yeah.
what's really important to me is knowing that I'm on the right track. Quality is important to me as
Yeah.
well, but I need to know that I'm what's the word? That I'm on the right track before I proceed on to the next step, and I need to know that what I'm doing is making a contribution. What I'm doing well, not just what I'm doing wrong. What I'm doing well that's important to me.
Okay, so you're saying that regularly or at least occasionally, I should let you, rather than, see, I've been brought up in the school of helicopter management, you do your thing, you do your, you're doing your work, the assignments we give you, and if there's problems, there's a red flag, I helicopter down, you see, to kind of help, but maybe that isn't, maybe I have to.
I like to have a means of a regular access, and I don't by any stretch, it's not about being told everything to do. I know what I'm supposed to do. I like to have designs, but just to make sure it's on the right track so that the time spent by everybody is.
Can you give me an example, of what right track would be? How would I give you
remember-
feedback on, for
Well,
example?
remember that when I was doing the customer survey,
Yeah.
I don't remember this, but because that was still early. And what we did is we'd set up a benchmark, so along the way, that
Yeah.
we actually would
Yeah.
keep touch base with each other where things are. We had a bunch of milestones. That was really helpful. And it was you did that once, and then we didn't do it the next time.
Yeah,
In fact,
yeah.
there was no other time that was done. It was that was done at the beginning, the first project.
Yeah, well, we got caught up in, remember 2 months ago, remember that pricing crisis?
Yes.
Yeah, and we had to,
Yes.
well, that took up 2 weeks of my time. That was just drop of the hat.
I know you've got
And I
lots of
had
work.
to,
I can see. I
know,
get the messages.
And
I
your
get
dad was part of that.
Oh, yeah, I get that.
I mean, big pressure, big pressure.
Sounds like this has been difficult for both of you.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's been tough. I mean, not only from outside, but,
Yes, it has been.
wonder if I could just summarize what I've heard you say is important to you about your working relationship. Sandy, it sounds like for you, quality and reputation are important to you.
Yeah.
Not just your own professional reputation, but the company's
Yes.
reputation. And for you, Dawn, it's accessibility and a sense of support and consideration. You want to feel supported, and you want to have accessibility to your to Sandy as you do your work.
Yes.
For both of you, autonomy is important
Yeah,
in your
that's-
working relationship.
Yeah, very important.
For you, you want to give autonomy, and for you, you want to have autonomy
Yeah.
with that support and accessibility that you were talking
Yeah.
about, and with maintaining the quality and
Yeah,
reputation. as
yeah,
well.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And it also sounds like for both of you, communication is a key to a good working relationship.
Yeah.
It's a
Yes.
criteria for
Yeah, the
that.
struggle, it's just, yeah.
Okay. What I'd like to do now is to capture those ideas up here on the board again as criteria for the next stage. Okay? So for you, Dawn, accessibility or access is important, and support.
Yes.
And for you, Sandy, quality
Yeah.
and reputation are
Right.
important.
Yeah.
And for both of you, autonomy and communication are important.
Yeah.
I'm going to post these over to the side here. Can you both see that?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. And you'll notice now that we've answered the question why. What about the working relationship is important to you? And you've identified quality and reputation, access and support, and autonomy and communication as what's important to you about the working relationship. And that allows us then to move to the next step, which is the search stage, where you'll have a chance to brainstorm. And what I'd like to do is capture 10 or 12 of your ideas up here on the chart for resolving the working relationship, given this as your criteria, given these as your criteria for resolution.